Hello and welcome to GIO Stadium. It's the mighty Raiders taking on the Auckland Warriors, not to be confused with the New Zealand Warriors. And I'm Will Kay, joined in the commentary box by the one and only Jack Kyle. How are you going, Jack?
Oh, look, I'm excited for this game. It's gonna be a bloody good one. I tell you what, the Warriors, they could be in a bit of danger here. Raiders undefeated so far in the season. They're looking very good, and I think it might be all one-way traffic for the mean green. I butchered that. The green machine.
You did indeed butcher that, as we have the man Rahul Kaval leading out his team, looking very confident indeed. The Warriors not looking too comfortable in the wet weather. Going to be very hard pressed to hold on to the ball tonight, and it's a very important game for them indeed. The Raiders pretty safe for the finals, going 4-0, yet to be defeated, and the Warriors in a different kind of standing, with 2-2, going down to the North Queensland Cowboys and the Manly Sea Eagles. How important do you think this game is, and what do you think that the captain is saying going into it?
Oh, look, on the importance of the game, I think the Warriors would want to compete in this one. I don't think they're for and against to get too destroyed as Walker comes up with the ball there. For the Raiders, I think they're essentially locked in.
Oh,
he's very close.
I'm sorry to cut you off here, but we've got some very, very close meterage here from the Warriors. They've come off with the ball pretty early. I think it was Sean Walker coming off a loose Raiders ball, and they're in great field position here as Corcoran is going to play it out just a couple of meters out from the try line. It's the fourth tackle. Switching left, it's the other Corcoran brother and Josh playing in the 7 tonight. Last tackle. Jaden White ready to get the ball ready. He goes left. Goes to McCartney, puts in the grubber. McCartney goes to Wally Allen. That's a great take from the second row, as you were. Sorry, Jack. Continue.
Yeah, well, that was a great take there from Wally Allen. Warriors looking dangerous in that first set. But as I was saying before, I think for Auckland, it's a bit more important that they just stay in there. Right now, they're in a bit of a fight for that fourth spot. The Raiders are essentially locked in. But for that fourth spot, I think there's probably the Warriors, the Rabbits, and I'm forgetting Panthers. The Panthers who could all compete for it. You've got to say the Panthers are probably out of the race, but they're still definitely sniffing around there. The Warriors, they'll need to. It'll probably come down to for and against. So this game is very important. That even if they don't win, they need to stay close with the Raiders.
Yeah, I rate that call on that the Penrith Panthers are unlikely to get into the top four. The next two games being against the North Queensland Cowboys and the Auckland Warriors. I reckon that game, the Auckland Warriors-Panthers clash, will be a very, very tight one indeed. As we look at the ladder, and the Warriors only in fourth above the South Sydney Rabbitohs, purely by differential, being 18 points ahead of them in the differential. It's a close game indeed, and I think this is, if any game, has got to be the one that they will win, and this will show that they are here to get a premiership finally.
Yeah, well, it'd be pretty important for them to go proving that, taking on a big heavyweight of the competition.
As Bell with a line break. Oh, that's a great tackle from Bunsey there. He has done a great ankle tap and stopped a certain Corey Bell try, looking very dangerous down that right wing. Sorry to cut you off, Jack, but that was looking very dangerous for a moment.
Yeah, well, we know how fast Corey Bell is, and those wingers, those kick returns, they are absolutely lethal. And great job there from Bunce.
And we look at some of the past figures that these teams have put together. In Season 2, the first time they played, obviously the Raiders taking place instead of the Storm for Season 2. They beat the Warriors 36-24, and then last season it was the Warriors beating them 20-18. It's going to be a close one for sure. It was Chance Bunce and Joe McCartney, the ones to really solidify their place in the win. As we go to Logan Strange now. So I think, if anything, this is one of the most historically close games between these two clubs.
Well, yeah, obviously we haven't had a game between these two teams that have been 13 plus. I think we might follow that trend again tonight. Like I said, I think the Raiders have got it in the bag. What is
As
McCartney
McCartney
doing
just
here?
holds on to it. I think he was trying to cast a spell, but it must have been a bloody long spell to cast. It was taking him that long as Corcoran puts it down the guts for Eli Barnes to run onto it. I think the Raiders are a bit intimidated there, looking a bit confused as to McCartney's witchcraftery. I'm sure they'll be definitely contacting a specialist from Salem, the Raiders, to make sure no any bad voodoo has been put upon them by the big man as Luke Thompson takes a run. The Raiders look to push on in this set with O'Neill now switching it left. The two halves linking up in the last two tackles. As Fe'u, Tarangahau Fe'u, running through the line, offloads it. Lewis can't get away from his opposite in that man, Rex Slattery, number 10 for the Warriors tonight, as O'Neill puts up a big kick, goes left off the right boot. Lumu comes down with it, but Jason Lumu can't get it away. That's the last. It'll be a changeover.
Pretty disappointing end to the set there from Canberra. O'Neill, I think it's just hit the side of his boot there. Probably didn't get enough of it as he expected, and poor end to the set there from the Raiders, just giving the Warriors the ball back.
Yeah, it wasn't a great show of finishing ability from the Raiders there. I'm sure that O'Neill won't be too happy with that finish, but that set was a pretty positive thing. Starting at around their own 20, they got some good meter edge, and I think the Warriors will also be happy because how vicious this Green Machine attack is. They were able to hold them back. As David Barner now taking a run, 25 out. It's the last tackle. And Jaden White will look right in Jai McCartney, putting it off the left boot, goes left. Mayava, John Mayava steps one, puts him away, can't get away from Chance Bunce, as most centers cannot, as Luke Thompson now with the ball, taking another run. He's been looking pretty ball running heavy tonight so far, as Allen goes to Mayava. He's been a bit dangerous this set, the man in the white headgear, a very dangerous individual as we've seen him both in the mines and throughout the season. Not already, yet to score a try, but a very dangerous individual when he is on the pitch in any position. As we go right to Luke Thompson now, it's Mataus in the hooker position tonight for the Raiders instead of that injured man Tim James. As Broaden Thompson now takes a hit up, Corcoran spreads it to Strange through the line. Logan Strange, it was never going to get away from Chance Bunce, but he got an offload to Joe McCartney. That is a great run from Logan Strange, the SRL commissioner rather. Barner to Broaden Thompson, gets driven back in the tackle by his opposite number in Corey Bell and John Maava on that right side for the Raiders. David Barner with another run here. They spread it left again. McCartney cut out ball to Walker. Through the line, Walker! He can't get away from Eli Barnes. I thought the referee was another one of the Raiders players wearing green as we go with a big kick up. Jaden White, he's put it deep, and Eli Barnes is going to be driven back into the end goal. That is a great kick.
That was an absolutely phenomenal kick. That was, we saw before from Jack O'Neill, the bomb just went a bit sideways. That was a perfect bomb, perfect depth, and they're able to drive Eli Barnes back into the end goal. The Warriors will have another set.
It's Luke Thompson with the kicking duties tonight, and that was a great end of set stuff from the Warriors. They knew they weren't going to get close enough to put points on the board, perhaps, but they knew maybe if we get that kick deep enough, we'll be able to drag Eli Barnes, who's been incredible so far in this season, and drag him back into the in goal. As Broaden Thompson looks to get around Bell, he almost does, only holding on by a thread, the veteran winger. Corcoran now pushing forward, 5 out from the line. It's the fourth tackle. Jaden White spreads it right. McCartney pushing, turned on his back. I think it was the number 10, Tarangahau Fe'u, doing that work there. As Jaden White, it hits the head of a player. Patrick Corcoran puts in an emergency grubber. And, I think John Maiava's come up with it. Maiava's away. No, he's not. He's going to be taken over the sideline.
What happened there? I thought Walker had come up with the ball and slid over. He must have just missed it by an inch or two.
See what happens in the replay here. Sure. That was Corcoran with the kick. Oh, I think it's come off just the shoulder there when he's dove in for it. And Maiava came up with it, but he's been driven over the touchline, and they'll get a tap here in another set. The Raiders in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, Warriors absolutely putting the foot to the throat at the moment. They're really putting a lot of pressure on the Raiders. It's only a matter of time before they crack.
Indeed, as they spread it left here to the likes of David Barner. He's had a few runs already, the big man. Goes left again. Logan Strange pushing. They're in numbers, though, the Raiders, with some great defense. The best defense so far within the season, and the best attack with the 66 points differential. The Raiders have been something phenomenal, only being on the top of the ladder by differential, which is 16 points higher than the Manly Seagulls, who also have 4 wins. As it looks like it's come off Bunsey forward, but Corcoran's put it down. The referee, he points to the spot. Rahul Kaval in all sorts. I'm not too sure what's happened here. We'll have a look at the replay, but it looks like it's been a great Warriors try.
Oh, that's touched his hand.
I don't think it has, actually, Carl. I think it's gone under his hand and through his legs.
I don't know. I feel like that has touched his hand. It's close.
I'd like to have a second look at that as Joe McCartney blunts at the kick. Patrick Corcoran they say play to the whistle, but geez, man, that is something phenomenal. I think it's gone through Chance Bunce's legs. I'd like to have a microscope to be sure of that, though, that it didn't touch his hand. And that is something phenomenal from the Warriors.
Yeah, I'd be willing to give the referee the benefit of the doubt there, but I feel like that touched Buncey's hand. It'd be interesting to see it on a second replay, but it's up to the viewer, I guess, whether or not the Raiders have been a bit hard done by here.
Yeah, it was the man actually, Klein, for once actually not electing to go to the video referee, which is an unusual thing for him, as McCartney with the hit up here. As Bunce will take a run. Steps 1. Can't get away from the middleman. I think it was Mataus reeling him in as Barner now pushed back in that tackle. That's a solid tackle from the Green Machine. The Auckland Warriors looking pretty dangerous as Liam Rogers, the pink-haired freak. We know how good he is on that second row, on that right edge. As Engo now with the ball. It's going to be the 5th. About 5 away from the halfway on the opposite side as Corcoran puts in a kick, whacks it down to the wing of Morrison as Morrison steps 1, tries to go through the middle. He's gotten away from Jaden White, but he can't get away from Chance Bunce. As Mataus now spreads it to Arnold. Arnold looking strong, Ben Arnold, in that tackle there. They're 35 out from the opposition line. The Raiders as Barnes now steps 1, can't get away from, I think it was David Barner. Now Leonidas pushing forward. He's been a great pickup from the Raiders. A very, very solid forward indeed as Arnold now pushing, driving, and Bunce has to put him on his back. He's out of position here, the fullback, as Ben Arnold is going to play the ball. Mataus spreading it right. O'Neill puts up a big kick off the right boot. It goes very far right, and Broughton Thompson comes down with it. That is some great take from the Auckland Warriors winger.
Yeah, well, the Raiders, that was a pretty decent kick. It had a good chase, but Broughton Thompson just too good. He took it with ease, and the Warriors got a 7-tackle set. I tell you what, the Warriors, they look like they're here to play tonight. They are absolutely taking it to the Raiders, and you got to love to see it. If they win this game, you got to say that it's a good chance they'll make finals.
Indeed you do, as Engo now with the ball pushing forward. White spreads it to Barner. Barner Can't get away from any of them, but he's taking yet another run. He's been busy tonight, David Barner. Corcoran, inside ball to Buns. Buns can't get away. The Raiders foreseeing that. I believe it was Ben Arnold picking off that play as Corcoran now with the last hit up of the set. They're about 15 out, looking to put more points on the board to put the Raiders away. Jaden White goes left. McCartney, left boot, puts it high. And Corey Bell's come down with. That's a great take from Corey Bell.
Yeah, it's a bit of a wacky kick there. Not sure who that was, but didn't quite go deep or particularly high. And Corey Bell just racing through and taking the ball.
Yeah, it was a bit of an awkward kick from Joe McCartney. His kicking game we've seen in the past is something to remark. It is quite something when he's on his game, but just in that kick in particular, it was a bit off. He was doing quite well before with that kick that put Eli Barnes back in the in goal, which eventually led to some points for the Warriors, but he'll have to improve on his kicking game and be more consistent in the wet weather tonight if he is to get some points on the board for his team.
Well, speaking of kicking games, that wasn't a particularly good kick from Jack O'Neill, and the Warriors yet again having some more territory down the Raiders' end, and O'Neill will need to be better with that if he's going to kick early.
Indeed, he will need. He just needs to slot it a lot higher as it looks to have come off the head of Nanai, and he gets an offload to Barner. Barner, Corcoran, what a try!
Well, you mentioned some voodoo from Jai McCartney earlier. I think that Barner has just pulled off a little bit of voodoo himself. That was absolutely magical.
It was John Nanai, the man. It came off his head. The Raiders thought that it went forward off his chest, but indeed the referee saw it correctly. And then it was only a matter of time before the inside ball to Barner led to a Patrick Corcoran try. That is a great play from the Auckland Warriors.
Yeah, that was really good. And after half an hour, Auckland are in front by 12. This is really something. Could we see the Raiders lose their first game tonight?
Indeed, that's the question on everyone's, I guess, tongues as Luke Thompson looks to kick off. That was quite something. I'm quite convinced that ever since that Joe McCartney spell, maybe it was a spell for his own team or a curse for the Raiders, whatever it was, he's done something. I'd like to see what Hogwarts house he is. As Nanai goes right now, McCartney, the voodoo master himself. Oh, they've thrown the ball. Liam Rogers right into the hand of O'Neill, who's been superb. Jack O'Neill as Barnes now steps one. Can't get away from Chance Buns. At the 20 now, the Raiders in some great field position. Caval goes to Ben Arnold, pushing forward. They're about 12 out. Goes left this time. The captain running it for his team. Driven back to where the ball was just moments ago. Liam Rogers hanging on in the tackle. The referee not eager to blow any penalties this close to the line, and this led into the set. Barnes with the last run before they'll kick it, I think. It's the last play. Mataus goes to O'Neill. O'Neill's come off. Oh, that's a big shot from John Nanai. It came off his knee, and he's put on a massive shot on the Raiders player to end the set.
Yeah, well, those O'Neill grubber kicks, they're almost iconic. But it rebounds off of someone, and Luke Thompson gets absolutely smashed for his troubles. Great hit there from John Nanai.
Yeah, it was John Nanai. The ball kind of came off him. It ricocheted off him, and then he's noticed that it absolutely laid out Luke Thompson. And that is a great play from the veteran forward. As we have Barner playing the ball now, it's the fourth. McCartney spreading it to Buns. Can't get away. The Raiders been very confident. That's Mataus there with the tackle. He's looking good, the recruit, as White goes to Corcoran, who splits it down. Goes to the wing of Morrison. Jacob Morrison taking it up. That is some great stuff there. And it's an awkward way he comes down. As Lumu now goes to Williams, who goes to Arnold, taking a run. Wrestling in the tackle here, the Warriors. As we have Williams with another one, Jordan Williams. He maintains his steady head as he pushes forward. Thompson, Barnes, goes to Bell. Bell doesn't really do much there. The Raiders struggling to get some meters in this set. As Mayava now goes to Mataus. He's got through the line, but he passes it back to Leonidas. I don't know what the thought process was. Maybe he thought he saw Voodoo Man Joe McCartney cutting across, and that's a terrible ball there for the last, and Ben Arnold is going to take a run. The Warriors from the heavens, from the god that obviously Joe McCartney prays to, have been gifted some magnificent field position as Bunce now looking dangerous.
Well, you mentioned whether or not it was a spell for his team or a curse on the other. I think it's a curse for the other. The Raiders have had some very unlucky moments, and that's just another one. And the Warriors with a chance to go 3 converted tries ahead. Bunce! Oh,
Bunce!
too good.
Bunce! What a player. There he is again. He's put the ball down over the line, and he just ran onto a great ball, and there was no one in front of him, and that's his 6th try for the season.
God, Chance Bunce is good. This is the battle. I think this is the battle for this MVP. Obviously, both of these two up there in contention. Eli Barnes and Chance Bunce, and so far, Buncey's been the one on top in this game.
Yeah, he's been superb tonight so far. Chance Bunce, not necessarily making too many meters off the line breaks, but just getting in front of that tackle and really, really testing that Raiders defense, which makes them uneasy and makes them rush, which has led to a fair few defensive errors. I think it's that man, Joe McCartney. I don't know so far if you can put him past, if you're considering supernatural causes in the SimVP votes for this round. I don't know you can go past that man there who's obviously taken his time in learning the old scriptures, I guess, as the Raiders kick off now. The Auckland Warriors looking incredibly dangerous.
Need a new stat column for spells cast, I think. John McCartney won.
Indeed we do, as Engo now with the run. As we got Barnes now, not Barnes, taking the run. It's going to be the 4th. Liam Rogers taking a hit up as well. Just a solid settler tackle as they look to kick on this last here. Hopefully no bad passes like the Raiders we saw moments ago as McCartney comes off the side of his boot. Not a great kick. They let it bounce. Corey Bell can't get away from Buncey. Chance Bunce rushing across to make that tackle. And a great job there as Wally Allen now with the ball at the 40, pushing forward. He's taken down by Jaden White, and I think it was Patrick Corcoran. Mayava now with the ball. They've been spreading it a lot to Mayava, not looking as dangerous as he did in that first 10 minutes or so of the half, as we look to close the half in the last 2 minutes now with Luke Thompson playing the ball. Mataus, Bell steps 1, can't get away from White. It's going to be the last here. The 20 out from the opposition try line. Mataus goes left. O'Neill, Thompson puts it up very, very high, not very deep at all. And Morrison's come down with the ball, but he's wrapped up by his opposition winger in Isaac Simons, and that's the last. It's going to be a handover.
Yeah, look, I don't think the Raiders will be too happy with their ender sets. They've had a few errors on the last play and a few bad kicks. And there's another one. I think the Raiders just need to sharpen up a bit. They're looking a little bit disjointed.
Indeed they do, as we look at Walker now through the line. I was about to say something, but never mind. Sean Walker, that's a great run. Another 15 minutes for his team. White goes to McCartney. Bunce steps 1 through the line. Chance Bunce. Can he get around Barnes? No, he can't. Barnes pulling off a miracle ankle tap to send us to half-time. We'll see you going into the sheds. 0-18. We'll see you next half. Welcome back to SRL TV for the second half of the Raiders-Warriors clash. If you've just joined us, you'll see that the Raiders are at no points with the Warriors at 18 after Jai Houdini McCartney putting on some great spells there in the first half to put the Warriors in front as Logan Strange takes up the first hit up of the second half, sorry. Jack, what do you think of that first half from the Warriors?
Oh, look, I was very surprised. I thought this was going to be all Raiders traffic, but the Warriors, they have looked insanely good. It's probably because of that McCartney spell. Maybe he should start doing that every week because it certainly worked. And I think the Warriors could push on with this if the Raiders don't pull their head in.
Indeed, I was curious at halftime and I went and had a look at the Warriors' dressing rooms, and it looked like they were sitting in a summoning circle. It's a bit, and they were chanting something. I'm not sure what they were chanting, and I'm not sure whether it's within the rules of the game. As Corey Bell, he's away here. He's finally gotten past Chance Bunce. There you go. Maybe it was a curse at halftime as he's going to put it down.
Wow, that's incredible from Corey Bell. Absolutely something from nothing. And Corey Bell, he's been dangerous all night, but Buncey has been able to shut him down each and every time. This time, though, Corey Bell gets past him and scores the Raiders' first try.
Yeah, very early into the second half. Maybe they've overdone it with the magic as Corey Bell races away for his second try of the season. And that is his 7th career try. That was some great stuff from the veteran winger. Playing at, 3 clubs so far, being at the Raiders for the last 2 seasons. Previously in Season 1 at the South Sydney Rabbitohs and Manly Seagulls in Season 2. He's shown time and time again what a prolific winger he is and how good he can be off those kick returns. And I think as we see Joe McCartney not looking too happy there. He may need to bust out the Magic the Gathering cards again as he goes deep, and the Raiders looking already pretty hot on attack. As we have Mataus going to O'Neill, who goes on to Tua. Sorry. As we look to go right, Luke Thompson, Eli Barnes, he's been very dangerous so far in this season. He's been a bit quiet tonight as Luke Thompson spreads it. Lewis to Fe'u, to Rangahau Fe'u. Sorry for those technical difficulties, folks, as Luke Thompson kicks it deep. It's looking good, the bounce. Chance Barnes is gone into touch. No. That is a critical error from the veteran fullback.
Yeah, no, I think that the mystical forces at play have gotten pretty angry. You know, all magic comes with a price. And the Warriors, it's finally started to backfire on them as the Raiders get back into this game. They've got another chance to tighten this lead even more.
Indeed, the magic has gone bad. Maybe they'll need a sacrificial lamb. That being maybe a ball kid, as we have Justin O'Neill now playing the ball just out from the line as Mataus goes to Luke Thompson pushing forward. Barnes goes left to Leonidas. He doesn't get much ground, but he pushes. He pushes and makes sure that LeBron Ball is driven back there. As Tim James now, he's been driven over. Tim James returning from a concussion. They're going to send it upstairs. I think he's gotten it down here.
Oh, yeah, I think he's gotten it down. He's too strong for that. Tim James obviously not playing hooker in this game, which is surprising. He'll only play limited minutes, but he's trying to make the belly. And a try to me.
Tim James last week injured along with his teammate in, I believe it was Marshall. That being... was it Marshall? I'm not too sure now.
Was it Tu'ua?
Tu'ua, yes. I think Marshall plays for the Eels, of course. And then he's just put the ball down, and that's a great start. We have no doubt about Tim James' playing ability. His, I I'd agree with the call to keep on Mataus. He's had an excellent game in the hooker position tonight for the Raiders, the young gun. Out of his usual position in the halves, but he's done really well nonetheless. And all of a sudden, Joe McCartney's magic is wearing off, and the Raiders have been cast out of their voodoo magic, out of the trance that he's put them in, and within 6 minutes, they've scored 12 points.
Yeah, well, I think it just shows that you can't give the Raiders any kind of sniff. They're too good for that, and it would be incredible. I mean, it hasn't even been 10 minutes yet, and the Raiders have almost pulled this lead back in. If they could get another good set here after points, they could realistically maybe tie this game up by the 55th minute mark. Who knows what can happen after that?
Yeah, the Warriors will need to tighten up their defense and attack here if they want to keep themselves in the game. Obviously, still 6 points ahead, but with the way the Raiders are going, I have no doubt that may not be for very long. As now it's that man Leonidas with the ball playing it. Luke Thompson goes left. Jack O'Neill he's been driven back. He's about 40 meters out from the opposition try line as Mataus goes deep to Lumu with the kick. Now it's a good kick from Lumu. They're going to let it... Oh, no, they're not going to let it bounce as Isaac Simons looks to return the ball, but he's been met with some solid Raiders defense there.
It was a great kick there from Lumu. Almost a bit too deep, but it was just a meter or two before the line. And the Raiders will want to keep the Warriors in their half here.
Indeed, as we have the Raiders showing off some great defense. The Warriors making some meters, not as many as they were in the first half, though. And we go left to Curry. Strange. Pushing forward. Is about 45 out there, the ex-SRL commissioner. As McCartney kicks it deep, splits it down to Corey Bell. They'll be wanting to contain him in this kick return, and Chance Bunce just gets to him in time. He's not going to make that mistake again and giving him too much free range as Leonidas juggles the ball. He's absolutely walloped. I think it was Walker there, Sean Walker being decimated by Leonidas. As Luke Thompson now through the line. He's got pace, Luke Thompson. I don't know if he'll get to the line. Will he? Yes. Oh, no. Yes, he will, Luke Thompson. You superstar.
That is absolutely brilliance there from Luke Thompson. He had a lot of work to do, but the speed, he gets through and then he just peels off Sean Walker like he's absolutely nothing. And Luke Thompson may just have the chance to tie this game up.
Jeez, that was a close one for sure. Luke Thompson, I think as Chance Bunce diving, I think running out of gas there, going for the ankle tap, which was unsuccessful, and then Sean Walker trying to wrap him up, but Luke Thompson too strong, and he showed off his pace there to put the Raiders, within 10 minutes, the Raiders have scored 18 points and put themselves right back in the game.
Yeah, well, how crazy is that? It's been just over 11 minutes since the 18-0 halftime break, and the Raiders, they've just decimated the lead like it was absolutely nothing.
I think the Warriors may need to take Joe McCartney off here so he can roll some more nat 20s as he looks to kick deep as Barnes passes it off to Arnold there as Mataus now goes to O'Neill. That's a forward pass. The commentator's curse is back, Jack. And that is a shocker from the Raiders.
Yeah, well, that'll help the Warriors. Warriors with a chance to head back immediately. 18 unanswered points. Maybe they can put something on the board.
Oh, Strange. Logan Strange. What a try from the forward. That is some interesting stuff there. I think it came off his chest, but he's just caught it before it's it's off his head. It's the Falcon. It will kill ya. And the Warriors scoring very, very quickly indeed. Less than a minute since the Raiders did just a moment ago.
Well, I think the Raiders players thought that was a knock on there. That's why they kind of stood around. Meanwhile, Logan knew it was off his head and just easily took it over the line. And the Warriors have hit back immediately.
As Joe McCartney shanks it, that's a bit of a That's what some people would compare my kicking to, and with how I've been going in recent times, as he shreds it to the left. Warriors now 4 points ahead of the Raiders. I guess they were gifted a try then from the heavens. I'm scared that if we say anything more about this sorcery that's going on in this field here, that maybe we'll be smitten. As Logan Strange now with the hit up.
Well, on that conversion goal, I think that could be really important. Obviously, this game is very close at the moment. Only 4 points in it. It could come back to bite them, the Warriors, if the Raiders can convert successfully from here on out.
It's a great point there that you've made. Points being very, very important in the kicking, and especially in tight matches such as these. We've seen multiple times games only lost or won by 1 or 2 points. As Jaden White spreads it down to Corcoran. He's been good on his kicking game tonight, Josh Corcoran. Puts it down very deep to Jacob Morrison, who gets a decent kick return about 25 out from his own line. As we have O'Neill now. Spreads it to Lumu. Lumu steps one. Can't get around the other. That's a great run from the centre. Jack O'Neill having the foresight heads-up footy to realise the wing was unmarked and just getting some extra metres for the Raiders there. Mataus going to Tuua. Sabbath Tuua. As we have him taking the tackle. It's the fourth, about 35 out. O'Neill with Leonidas here. It's about 25 out. It's the last tackle. As they'll look to put a kick in. Luke Thompson, crossfield kick down to the other wing. Simons takes it comfortably. Simons through the line. He's going to be chased down here. Yes, he is, just before the 40. That's a pretty good kick return.
Yeah, that was a very good kick return there from Simons, and great job from the Raiders to pull him in as well.
Yeah, we've seen some great efforts from both teams here as Nanai now breaking through the tackle. We spreads it left, Strange. Logan Strange, the man that scored a try just moments ago, busting through one, putting the left foot step on to really push Eli Barnes in defence there. No fullback in position now. Ryan Lawrence is going to take the hit up. As we have Jaden White to Curry with a kick now. McCartney was trying to dive onto it. Leonidas has just picked it up last second. That was a very good take from the rookie forward. As Ben Arnold now taking a good hit up just before the 20 here in the second. They'll be looking to get some great meterage off this set here. The Raiders, the Green Machine, as Mataus goes to Arnold again. The second one for the set there for Ben Arnold. He's been pretty great tonight, coming off the bench for the Raiders. That's a shocking kick from Luke Thompson, and he's taken it. Corey Bell's taking it on the full, but he's just taken a step out after that.
I'll tell you what, that almost worked. Corey Bell would have been away there. I'm not sure if the winger had him covered. Maybe he did, but just a little bit too deep there from Luke Thompson. And I'm not sure that was the right play.
It looked like Broden Thompson was all over him. I think Corey Bell mistaking the red line for the touch judge as the touch line. As we have Engo taking a hit up there. And the Warriors have been given some pretty great field position here.
Yeah, they have been, and they've got a chance to get this lead back out to a bit more than it was mere minutes ago. And they'll definitely want to do something with it. As the man on debut, he makes a good run there.
He does. As we have Corcoran being pushed back. Driven, in fact, as White goes to Engo again. He's had a pretty decent night already, Engo. Jaden White, he's looking around. He's going to go right to McCartney. He puts up a big kick off the left boot, puts it left. Mayava's come down with it comfortably, and he's just managed to stay inside the field of play.
Great take there from Mayava. Looked a bit dangerous there, the Warriors, and Mayava coming down with the ball. Doesn't usually have to make the big catch as a centre, but he did well there.
As we have... Great players pushing forward in the tackle here as I lose visual for a second. As Tim James spreads it, plays the ball, as Mataus spreads it to Sabbath Tua. As we have Mataus going to O'Neill. That's a better kick from Jack O'Neill. Straight down the guts to Bunce. Bunce lets it bounce, but takes it very quickly afterwards. And he's back at the 40 now. It's a great kick return from Chance Bunce. As we have Corcoran now pushing, going to the 50. The game, 20 minutes to go. Well, just under 17 rather. And 4 points in it. The Auckland Warriors in front as Engo driving forward. Engo's done a great job there. White goes to McCartney. Barner taking a run for himself. Yet another one. I'd like to see how many runs that man has taken tonight. He's been busy. And McCartney pushing it down, just splitting it down, and it's Bell. Bell's away again. No one's going to catch him. Corey Bell is at the 20, at the 10. Shut the gate. He's in for a double.
Yeah, Corey Bell, too dangerous, too quick. Buncey wasn't there to shut him down again. He's had 4 or 5 opportunities that Buncey has squandered. But this time, the second time that he crosses the line.
It was an awkward kick from McCartney. Just putting it on the toe. And it was wobbly and not much distance or height. And Bell's come onto that with absolute insane speed to put the Raiders even here with the Auckland Warriors. And I dare say Luke Thompson will kick this. And he sure does. And he's put the Canberra Raiders 2 points ahead.
Yeah, well, the Raiders, I still find it incredible that they're even in this game. It was 18-0 at half-time. It is really miraculous that they're still in this. And that John McCartney missed conversion is definitely hurting the Warriors right now.
It sure is. I'm sure that given the opportunity, they will be taking the 2. The Warriors, as Barnes goes to Arnold. Arnold smashed in the tackle. That is a great shot. I think it was Engo with the shot on him. I'm not too sure. As Sabbath Tua going now. Leonidas spreads it wide. Jacob Morrison inside offload to Lumu. Lose some meters there, but definitely some security as they're not as close to the touchline. Morrison going to Tua. Sabbath pushing forward but driven back in the tackle ultimately as they go left this time. Ben Arnold, Morrison pushing. He's at the 40 now. It's the 5th tackle. The Raiders will be looking to put some pressure off this kick as O'Neill, he spreads it. That's a much better kicking game already. Jack O'Neill and Borden Thompson's reeled in by his opposing John Boy Mayava. As Engo now pushing, looking to go through a gap there, but it closed pretty quickly. Unlike that one, as Slattery slots through, Mataus having to be the man to make the tackle. Jaden White goes to McCartney, inside ball, back to Bunce. Strange trying to link up with the captain there, the vice captain and captain alike, as Barner now through, can't get away though. And it's going to be the last with Jaden White going to McCartney. That's a much better kick from him as well as Morrison puts on the afterburners to meet Nikau Oatere. As we go right now, O'Neill goes to Mataus, takes a run himself. He's had a fantastic night tonight, Sione Mataus. As O'Neill, Leonidas, Aaron, he's been doing very great runs tonight. The big, bald-headed forward. He's been doing a fantastic job in everything that he's played, being an absolute star in the World Emerging squad, versing the Australian Emerging squad just before the season started. And throughout the Raiders campaign, he's been great coming off the bench. Now, Borden Thompson, he's going to go through the line, gets around Eli Barnes. Nayana Borden Thompson, you've got some speed and some skill, buddy, and he's put it down over the line. That's a great try for the Warriors.
That was a phenomenal try. He made an absolute fool of Eli Barnes. Not many people can do that. He saw that Corey Bell was getting a bit of love on the other end. This time, he wants it, and he gets the Warriors back in front by 2 points.
Nyana brought in Thompson. That's his second try for the season, third career try. That is a great effort from him indeed. Absolute solid running, showing off his pace, and the Raiders just unable to reel him in. As we look in the last 10 minutes, McCartney should kick a goal as he does. And they put 4 points ahead once again, the Auckland Warriors.
Oh, we've got a blockbuster of a finish here. The last 9 minutes we're entering now, and there's only 4 points between it. I think that the Warriors could come home strong here.
Indeed, McCartney will need to be putting some more spells on here. Looking at maybe his Hogwarts textbooks. As Slattery takes the hit up, that's a solid run from Rex. He's going to play the ball at the 20. McCartney goes to Barner. Barner with yet another run. He's been super busy tonight. Barner playing in the second row, but running the ball like he's playing both props and lock. Rather, Simons now with a run, getting just before the 40 for his team. It's the 40th meter, sorry. Third tackle. We've got about just under 8 minutes to go within the half and within the game as McCartney looks to put it down. And that's out on the full. That's a critical error. I didn't expect that kind of spell to come out, McCartney, but you know what? I think the Raiders will take it.
Yeah, the Raiders won't be unhappy with that. McCartney, he's had a bit of a mixed bag with his kicking game tonight. And that one you can put in the very bad pile. He's just gifted the Raiders a chance to win this game.
As Leonidas through the line, looking dangerous. Bunce pulls him in. That was very dangerous indeed, as Aaron Leonidas is going to play the ball. Only on the first now, 10 out. Sabbath Tua looking for the line, can't get there. Madhu spreading it left. O'Neill puts Leonidas in a gap. Aaron Leonidas, what a try.
Yeah, that's an incredible try from Aaron Leonidas. I think that his teammates will be buying him a bit of a head polish for that one. He deserves a shiny head. That was an amazing try. And the Raiders will probably hit the front here. This is where McCartney's missed conversion might hurt them. It'll depend if Luke Thompson can hit this one.
And a big congratulations to Aaron Leonidas. Being very, very consistent forward for the Raiders. If you look at this kick, he's split it off to the left. That is a shocker, a kick. He's disappointed there, Luke Thompson. The wind's just taking it left, and it looks as if this game may in fact go to Golden Point.
Well, we haven't had a field goal in Season 4 whatsoever. We could see it tonight. Could be a possibility. There's 6 minutes left in this game. Do you pull the trigger next time you get the chance?
I think you do indeed, and I think it'll be that man there about to kick off, Joe McCartney. If anyone for the Warriors, they'll need to get some good field position. That's a very good kick there from him to start off this defensive set, this critical defensive set for the Warriors. And as I was just saying a moment ago, I was cut off by the very intense kicking duties of Luke Thompson. Aaron Leonidas, that was his first career try. Big congratulations to him. And I don't think you can have it any other way than to put your team back within the game and possibly to a victory. As they knock it on here, the Raiders, no they don't. It looks as if it's just been a normal pass and it's gone into the chest of David Barner. He's taken it comfortably. As Corcoran now, they're within good range here. McCartney will want some more meters, and so will Corcoran before they look at taking a shot. As Barner now, off the left foot, gets away from Leonidas. He's looking a bit tired after that run and try. As Bunce now pushing. Maybe they'll go for the try here. About 10 meters out. It looks like they're going to set up shortly. Logan Strange, it's the last tackle. You've got to take the kick shortly.
McCartney's in position.
Is McCartney setting up here deep? It's Joe McCartney looking for the field goal. He's got it! Joe McCartney with the field goal. He's put his team in front with 4 minutes to go.
Well, it's not locked in. The Warriors could still lose this. We've seen crazier things happen in the SRL, but that will help. McCartney missing the conversion earlier in the game, but he's just made up for it there, putting the Warriors in front 29-28.
I don't want to say anything too much on anything because considering the commentator's curse and the supernatural events of this game, I just want this game to play out how it should be. And we'll see what happens next. What a blockbuster. As Bunt's now taking a run, the Raiders' desperate defense, they're trying to get something off the Warriors. McCartney, he's been turned inside out there, Barner. Jeez, that was a brutal tackle from the Raiders' defense, but they've run the clock down by just waiting and not diving on top of him, not flopping, and they're hoping maybe he'll get up and throw a forward pass. So that pass looks a little bit forward. It's the last tackle here. They'll need a very, very good kick return here, the Raiders. Maybe they'll kick a field goal of their own. We'll wait to see as Jaden White goes left. McCartney, that's a shocking kick there. Barnes, he goes, steps one.
Oh, no.
Barnes! Barnes is through! He's going to score under the post and lead the Canberra Raiders to victory!
Oh my goodness, Eli Barnes, what an amazing try. The Warriors, they have absolutely butchered that. What was that kick from Jai McCartney and Eli Barnes? I mentioned earlier, he's been pretty quiet in this game, but boy, he struck when it mattered.
Wow. Wow. What a play from Eli Barnes. He backed himself to get to that line. I'm tempted to say the Raiders win this game, but if I say that, they may not yet. As Luke Thompson lines up this kick, anything can still happen. I think it's pretty comfortable. Luke Thompson looking very happy as he slots it over. 5 points ahead now, the Canberra Raiders. Joe McCartney would need to pull off something more than magic off this kick to put his team back in the game. I think it's lights out for the Warriors, and what a game it's been. Eli Barnes putting his team in what seemed like all hope was lost back in the game and winning it pretty much for them as Ben Arnold takes the final hit up. The fat lady sings, and the Canberra Raiders have come away. Their 5th straight victory, 5 points in it, over the Warriors, winning in the dying moments of the game.
That was an incredible game. That had everything. It was 18-0 at halftime. I think the Raiders are now tied, equal biggest comeback to win a game. And that was just absolutely incredible from Eli Barnes right there at the end to get his team over the line.
I'm very, very impressed by both sides from this match. I think they've both been incredible. The Auckland Warriors putting on a magnificent display, and the Canberra Raiders likewise in that second half, absolutely murdering the Warriors, putting on 34 points compared to only 11 from the Warriors. With Jaden White, look at his meterage for the Warriors. Logan Strange likewise, and look at the Raiders stats, and Sian Mataus with 29 tackles. That is huge effort from the young man.
Corey Bell, 7 line breaks for Corey Bell. He looked dangerous. He looked really dangerous tonight, Corey Bell, and Bunsey shut him down. But you can't shut him down 100% of the time, and he got 2 very important tries for the Raiders.
He did indeed. We can't really say much. I guess we'll let the highlights talk for themselves. With nothing further to say, I'm Will Kay. In the commentary box was joining me, Jack Carl. It's been a pleasure to host you tonight on what has been a phenomenal game of football. And we'll see you next week.